last nut. It's gonna be a lot harder than I thought. Alright. There's a wastegate. Alright, boys, and there's the old turbo setup. She was good to me, but now it needs to go to a new home. Welcome back to the channel, boys. It's been a while since I've made a video, probably about a month or maybe even longer. I've had a lot of people ask me, hey, are you still working on the cars? Why'd you stop posting? Yes, I am still working on the cars. It's just that YouTube has been a little funny recently and it just didn't make sense for me to make any more videos, which it still doesn't, but this is, you know, MK4 Supra, and I think it's kind of like I have to finish the entire build series because we're pretty much down now to the final steps, which is something that I said that I would do many years ago, and here it is. So as you guys just saw, I removed the turbo setup that we ran for the last, what, 3-ish years. Here is the CX Racing turbo manifold that I fabbed up or modified to fit the Black Sheep Industries wastegate. Absolutely amazing machine. I will definitely miss this. That is probably one of the nicest wastegates that I've ever used. Very nice design. This is the Borg Warner S366 turbo that whistles almost like if it had a T51R mod. This thing is probably the nicest sounding turbo I've ever had on any car, but somebody else will be enjoying that. I've actually posted all this stuff for sale, and a lot of people were blowing me up that they're interested. So one of the things that I did do off of long form style content, I actually did make a shorts video, was the intercooler. As you guys will see, this is not what I used to run before. What I used to run before was this. This is a 4-inch generic intercooler, no name brand, and now I actually have a custom fabbed up intercooler. This should hold maybe 1400 horsepower, and as you guys will see, the bracing on this is absolutely insane, dude. Like this was actually designed and made by Wade over at T1. He is one of, in my opinion, probably one of the best fabricators I've ever seen, which again, for T1, right? So yeah, over here there's some intercooler piping that also came from Wade. I will be using I'm not sure, I may have to cut that up. Obviously his turbo setup is different from what I have, and what we got for this car is significantly better than what the cars had. I told you guys that my goal was to make 1200 horsepower, and it will do that with these, with the new setup. It'll probably make more, but I won't push it that far just because I want the car to last. I don't want any problems anytime soon. You guys see we have the bumper there. Still have the TH400 transmissions off the cars. If anybody's interested, please let me know. Got my 4-inch downpipe that I will have to modify. I have to cut that flange off and weld a big ass flange for the new turbo. So I got to modify that. And then here is the turbo intake, some of the intercooler piping. This is from the intercooler up to the turbo. This is the other piece that was going from this side of the intercooler up until that pipe. So for the person who ends up buying this, I'm not really sure if I'm gonna let this pipe go, because I made this specifically for this car, and I don't know if he or she is gonna want to actually cut a hole in the car. They may run it just the old-fashioned way, where we go straight down and around this way. But yeah, you guys, one thing I did want to show you is look at how clean everything is still right here. As you guys know, Moose put this engine together, and actually earlier today someone messaged me asking me about his work, and I was like, dude, I've torture tested this car, banging off the rev limiters, pushing it to the limits, and it is doing great. So good that I'm about to add about 500 horsepower more on top. And it doesn't have any leaks or anything, man. This thing is still super, super clean. With all that being said, who wants to see the new turbo kit? I guess we could do it this way. So let's see. The old turbo. The new turbo. What you guys see here is a big ass wastegate. For comparison, we're gonna set it up to the old one. See that? This is who she told you not to worry about. Alright, so VirtualWorks turbo manifold, tile, gigantic ass, and this is a big boy precision turbo, and it requires the big ass intake. So I'm not gonna go into details on that because I don't want to put you guys to sleep. Just know that it can make 1400 horsepower. Now for those turbo fanatics, I would love for you guys to take a guess, and I'm gonna give you guys some hints. It's a big ass turbo for this car, but it's still smaller than what's fixing to go on my car. The turbo that I got for my car is probably the largest turbo you can run on the street. The one I got for this one is a little bit smaller. So take some guesses, leave it down in the comments. I would love to see what y'all's thoughts are, and I would love to see how crazy you guys think I am. This is pretty much like the end of the road, man. Aside from this, I can't really do much on this car. Once this is done, this is pretty much gonna complete the build. The only thing that could happen is maintenance, wear and tear, things like that, but the car is pretty much gonna be maxed out because I do not intend to ever go bigger than that turbo on this car as comparison to mine. But again, on mine, I'm not scared to like break the diff or anything like that. Since it has a DSS 9-inch, this one still runs an OS Gaiken. I can only push it so hard before I do risk breaking the OS Gaiken. But either way, I think this one ends up being 1200-ish around there to the wheels. This one's gonna end up somewhere around 1500 to the wheels, and that is on boost only. This one used to make 1400 with nitrous. I plan to do 1500 on boost only. Now, one thing I did want to mention, because again, the whole purpose of me building this car, and when I bought the car and started the whole build process on YouTube, was to document the fact that you can actually build a really nice car on a budget, and I've proved it. With the exception of the motor, the transmission, everything else on the car was pretty much budget. It didn't require that much expense as comparison to what's on this car. But at this point, I think I'm already past that. I'm not trying to prove anything. I think at this point, I've already proved that you can build nice things under a budget. I mean, for example, this turbo setup over here, I never had any issues. It never cracked on me. It held 30 plus pounds of boost for 3-4 years. I mean, in like the Borg Warner turbo, I mean, it's, you know, all this stuff here, it works. A lot of people will be like, oh, it's eBay, oh, it's CX Racing. Who gives a shit, dude? I mean, if you have $1,000, $2,000, make that work. Build something with that budget. If you have $8,000, $10,000, then buy yourself one of these and, you know, just do it once. Or like they say, pay once, cry once. But at the end of the day, dude, work around your budget, and, you know, hopefully the last 3 to 4 years that I've been making videos has helped somebody understand that you do not need a lot of money to build these cars. Now, granted, I understand that getting into the Supra game initially is an investment, but once you have it, after that, you don't need to spend that much money. Or even better, if you get like a Lexus IS300 or some other car where you can have a 2JZ even cheaper. But again, budget friendly is perfectly fine, and they last for many years, as I've proven it. Again, this turbo kit, all that stuff, I'm taking it off because I want to, not because it ever failed on me. And another thing too is that moving forward, I do not intend to do any YouTube build series to prove a point or to try to, you know, basically what I did with this. Moving forward, I'm just going to be doing videos that I enjoy doing, whether that's a POV video or ride along video, or even this. You know, I want to document this just because I've invested so many years of my life into this car, and I want to see it all the way through. But I won't be doing any more videos just to try and educate or anything like that. It's just not worth my time. You know, for example, the last several videos that I've made, if I'm lucky, it gets 1,000 views, and at that point I spend hours and hours recording, editing, all that stuff, and I make like $5-6 in a video. It just doesn't make sense. But I mean, at least if I do it now, if I do it this way, it doesn't matter if I make $1 or $2 on a video. At the end of the day, as long as I enjoy what I'm doing, that's the most important thing. Again, I don't know if it's YouTube that's censoring my stuff or not allowing you guys to see it, or if you guys have just lost interest, which is, if you lost interest, that's fine. I mean, it is what it is. People grow up, people change. I'm still here doing what I've always done. Again, I've done all this shit even before YouTube. It's just that I started documenting all this stuff with the Supra just to kind of share this experience with others. But I'll still be here. Maybe I'll get to a point in my life where I actually want to do this every single day like I once planned or envisioned myself. But I mean, for the time being, it's not looking like that's very promising. But that's enough of a rant for today. I am going to get busy installing all this stuff, because I do have to do some fab work on the intercooler piping and on the downpipe, and a bunch of other shit that will come up along the way that I am not expecting. Always happens. Whenever you say, oh, it's gonna take me a day or two, maybe 1 or 2 weeks. But I'm gonna let y'all go on this. On the next video, I will have all this stuff installed. I'll show you guys the startup, because one of the things that I have been trying to prove, and you guys know Moose already. I've been arguing with Moose. We've gone back and forth about exhaust notes and how to get the most iconic 2JZ sound, which again, I've proven that with my Supra. It sounds perfect. And he believes that it is the muffler that makes the biggest difference. I recently did some fab work for him, did a custom mid pipe, modified his downpipe, put an HKS TI on it, and it sounds amazing. Don't get me wrong, it sounds absolutely amazing. But I keep telling him that with the proper turbo manifold, it doesn't matter what kind of exhaust you run. So hopefully I am right. If not, Moose, you'll win this battle. But I'm gonna try and prove that with this turbo manifold, a high-end quality turbo manifold, even a little vibrant muffler, well, it's too dark, you can't see it, but the vibrant muffler that I ran on this car will sound really, really good. If it doesn't, then I'll probably be buying an HKS TI. All right, boys, see y'all later.